I see all good people now. Good morning. Yes, always too good to see, to be alive. It means we have an opportunity to thrive in this day. We are alive again. We can visualize in our minds ourselves as seeds sprouting in the sunlight of the day, the dawning of the day. We can remember whom we are. We can answer Thomas Wilson's 6 questions and have a fairly good recollection of what's going on. Preparing ourselves, literally, figuratively, for anything. It's powerful, and it's common sense. It doesn't get better than this. It is the most simple, honest, authentic. This is why we're doing it. This is why I do it and share it with you. It's important. Mankind needs to step up more than we have. More important now than ever before. Because the tools at our disposal are more powerful. And we all know the stories. Atomic energy. Even swarms and clusters of drones. Being here now is merely a beginning. Be here now is not difficult when evolution has afforded one the capacity to be alive. And we can see this in all the different species which have evolved on this planet. And yet with a greater sense of perspective, we can also see most of the species which have evolved on this world have perished. The variety is different, but in a sense of looking at it as a totality, it is greatly reduced. We've had 5 mass extinctions already, wherein at the minimum 75% of all of life was extinguished in these events, in each one. Maybe more, depending on which one. 5 of them. So being here now is a great beginning, but this is all it is. It is what one does when one begins to acknowledge one's own presence. Fundamentally, virtuosity becomes very important. Whom are you? What are you? Why are you? Where are you? When and how are you? These 6 questions of the famous rhetorician who verbalized and immortalized his thinking in the year of 1560, explaining these concepts of how to evaluate any subject. What is the most important thing? What is the first one? The most important thing that one can do. Remember whom you or I, who we are. What does this mean to do? To remember your ego? Okay. It's important. But it is only a part of whom one is. The perspective should include the awareness of our evolution. The reflection should include the perspective of the universe's immensity. Then one begins to grasp a greater knowledge of what is. What is the most important thing one can do? Remember whom one is. So, being here now is the foundation upon which we can begin to make inquiries. Because if you're not here, then where are you? Wandering, and more likely than not aimlessly or with some degree of direction. Into what? And the same questions then can be queried, inquired about in whatever direction one is pursuing. You're pursuing a livelihood, you're pursuing a mate, you're pursuing anything. Better to be done with a greater sense and degree of awareness, of purpose. What is going on? This is primally important. This desire, this objective, is made more interesting because time is constantly changing like a kaleidoscope. It is turning as each new moment evolves, arrives. And this is part of our consideration. It is not only the concept of evolution and the expanding nature of our universe of creation. It is in the details. It is when all of this is occurring. And it is occurring right now. As these words flow from my lips into one's ears, as a communication is taking place. Are we appreciative? Are we even aware of what this means? How the words pass through the air, rich enough to carry sound? That we are cognizant enough to hear and interpret the meaning, the symbology of the words being expressed? Do we have enough experience we can understand the nuances in speech, the pauses, the accents? There's a lot. And yet it is all simple. Evolution has developed us over millions of years to facilitate these capabilities. Not to shy away, but to embrace, to imbue ourselves with our potential. What is the most important thing one can do? Remember whom we are. When? That's the first, that's W. What? The second W, when? In every moment, changing is occurring. So, one need to be remembering, reminding oneself often to one's day. 100 times a day means every 14 or 15 minutes we are pausing and refreshing our being. It is not one wants to meditate for 15 minutes and having accomplished this task, this awareness of our gift of being alive, and then be one and done. Now I can get back to the other parts of my being, my other, in quote, responsibilities. No. It is better to be aware once every 15 minutes for a few moments. It is continuity we are seeking. We are seeking flowing awareness, recognition of the majesty and the magnificence of creation. If we meditate and do our practice in a short span of time, 1% of our day, which 15 minutes approximately represents, where does that leave our other 99%? It is common sense. One need to remember. We're not asking ourselves to sit in a comfortable posture in an environment undisturbed for the entire day, but we are asking ourselves to become aware, to just pause, and to recollect or remember these simple phrases, or simple sacred sayings, or just our common sense awareness. Where are we? Everywhere. The third W. What, when, where. In every place. Comfortable, of course, is better than being uncomfortable. But maybe being uncomfortable is the beginning of finding one's comfort again. It is more in the ability to have an aha moment, a reflection, a reminder to oneself. Why am I this way? Why am I dis-ease? I know there is a better way. Creating the conditions as much as one can, but being mindful that it is not always going to be the way we want it to be. This is where having virtue comes in. To be patient, to be understanding, to have compassion, to find empathy, to understand our environment, our current situation. Being kind, aware, is our goal. In the present moment, in our current circumstances, to be a better part of what's going on, of being able to evaluate and participate and to add to the confluence of events as they are occurring. Who? The last W. We started with what, when, where, why, and who. This is a question 100 years ago or a little bit more. A famous yogi guru espoused this view of asking oneself the question of, who am I? Well, we've added 5 more to that because we want to know the whole thing. We want to understand the entirety of our being, or as much or better as we can. So the who is you and I. And as far as who am I, meaning as a species, Homo sapiens, well, it's all part of the same 5 W's and 1 H. It is, we are a part of this whole. We are a part of the energy of creation. We are all of the things that we have been talking about, and more. The more one visualizes and remembers, the more that one finds. Because how many moments do we each have in a day? 86,400 moments, distinct moments of awareness. Multiply that out by a week, by a month, by a year. All of these moments are recorded in one's mind. Some more vibrantly, some less. And how? How do we accomplish what we set before ourselves? How do we fit in with virtuosity, with the desire and the goal to implement channels and means of self-improvement, of becoming aware of characteristics, of qualities, which in their pursuit helps us become better Homo sapiens. This is the entirety of what we need to know. These 6 questions. We can find our roles as Homo sapiens. The music continues for another minute. My recommendation is to ponder a little bit longer in your own thoughts and to be smiling, be gracious, be kind unto your own self, and to practice all day. In every new moment, remembering is our goal. I and you are here now, bundles of miracles, humbled before this immensity we've been talking about, this universe traveling at 1,000,000 miles an hour in expansion. Thankful for waking up, for having another moment to play, to smile, to rise, to shine. Namaste.